So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our webinar today, and thank you so much for joining us. This is our first webinar on bringing lessons to life, and it's really an introduction to This is School. So my name is Veronica. I'll be your host today, alongside my colleague, Caitlin Kendrick. Whilst I'm here and I'm taking you through the introduction to our session, Caitlin will be taking you through the platform, whilst I will be managing our chat and our Q&A function. So please do take a second to say hello and introduce yourself. So before we get started, I just want to go through a little bit of housekeeping. So first of all, we'll be running this as a webinar, basically just meaning that your cameras and your microphones will be off. But like I said, please do utilise the Q&A as well as the chat, and we will get back to you as quickly as we can. Also, today's session will be recorded and we will be sending this out over the next few days. Finally, we will be having some dedicated time at the end of today's session for questions. But like I said, please feel free to pop any questions that you might have in the Q&A or the chat. So first of all, before we go into a little bit more information in regard to This is School and what we'll be covering today, let's have a look at what actually This is School is. So we launched in 2011 as This is Language, and we rebranded to This is School back in October of 2023 as a reflection really of our belief in authentic content and resources we've pioneered in languages can be applied in a wide range of subjects. We now offer resources in French, Spanish, German, Italian, Mandarin, ESL for anyone that might be in the US, as well as geography for those of you that might be in the UK. Our EdTech platform is cloud-based, meaning there's no additional installation needed, and it's easily accessible from whichever device you plan to use, as well as teacher accounts. Students have their own logins, meaning that it can be utilised really easily for homework and revision, which we'll be talking about more in detail next Tuesday, April 23rd. So please do tune in then if you'd like to hear more about this specifically. Now, there's no better way to understand the platform as to see it in action. So I'm going to pass it over to Caitlin to go ahead and jump into platform. So I've just stopped sharing, Caitlin. You should be able to go in now and take it away.
Okay, perfect. Are you able to see my screen okay? Excellent. Thank you so much for the introduction, Veronica. And as she mentioned, there's really no better way to understand what we do at This is School than actually looking at our platform. So here it is. You can see that we cover everything. It's colorful and quite user-friendly. And the main thing that I wanted to show you up here is all the languages that we just mentioned, as well as geography. So in today's session, I'll be showing the platform through the language view on Spanish, but I'll also point out how it applies to geography teachers, since we do have some geography teachers listening in from the UK. So first, what I would like to show you is our listening videos. This is one of the main things that makes us stand out as a unique resource. We have over 12,500 videos on our site, all featuring young people in real-world settings. For languages, as you can see, you can browse by theme. We have the IB themes listed here. And the videos feature, I'll just show an example. The videos feature native speakers talking authentically about their life and their culture. So it's totally unscripted, unedited. We feature native speakers from various countries, so you can see where they're from, so that students can hear different accents and styles of speaking. And with each of the videos, we have scaffolded exercises that help the students to build their confidence with the content of the video. For geography, we have real-world learning videos as well. These feature GCSE students explaining geographical concepts and processes in a way that students can understand and relate to, thus enhancing that peer-to-peer learning aspect. You'll see as well with the videos for language that the star rating here indicates the level of difficulty. So as I scroll down, you can see so many videos discussing the answer to that question, but at various levels. So if you are a teacher that has classes of different levels or even mixed ability groups in one class, you can differentiate the content by assigning everyone the same question, but having them watch a video according to their level, which is something that really makes This Is School unique. Our most successful teachers will make use of the authentic videos either by using them as a front of class resource or assigning them and the exercises for independent learning, or some teachers use them to support a flipped learning classroom. So there's flexibility in how you want to use the authentic videos. Next, what I'd like to show you on the site, especially for language teachers, is our vocabulary section. So the vocabulary section is arranged thematically, as you'll see here, and the units can then be assigned for matching or spelling. So to show you an example, let's say we want to talk about friends and family and go to friends and family members. You'll see the vocabulary blocks here. The preview says which words they're going to be learning, and then they can do matching exercises or spelling exercises with those words. What the students do in the vocabulary block is they can study the digital flashcards where they hear the words, they see the words, and then they have a chance to practice with the words themselves. And they can demonstrate mastery over the vocabulary words. And in the end, for everything that students do on the site, they earn peanuts, which are essentially points. And they can earn those peanuts from learning the vocabulary words as well. Our most successful teachers will use the vocabulary section to track student progress and also review the vocabulary blocks per class. So they're able to see which words the students have learned and which words that they might need more support with. And then they can revisit these words with supplementary activities in the classroom. Now, a favorite of many teachers and students is our grammar section, or for geography, our explainer videos. So you can see that the grammar is here as well as the parts of speech needed for IB. I'll just go for the grammar section in general here. You can see the different grammar points, and I'll just click on the first one as an example to preview. Here we go. So our grammar videos, explainer videos, these are 120-second long videos. They're available across all subjects, and they're really wacky and fun and engaging. They're silly on purpose, but it makes them memorable for students. And the explainer videos also feature complementary comprehension and confidence boosting activities to support the learning. So they watch the video, you'll see the grammar explanation underneath. When they start training, they work through scaffolded exercises, similar to the scaffolded exercises under the authentic listening videos that help them to gradually build their confidence with that concept. And then when they feel comfortable with it, they can test out to demonstrate mastery over that grammar concept. So our most successful teachers will use these grammar and explainer videos either as a front of class resource, having students all watch it and then complete the exercises together. Or some teachers have students that are struggling to understand a concept to watch the video for homework, and then complete the exercises independently so that they have that time to really practice with it on their own. This can really support lower level students and also reinforce concepts that students may be struggling with. So back to our main page. If you have used us before when we were This Is Language, then you'll be excited to see a much requested feature on the site, which was added, speaking and writing. So I'll show you the speaking section first. For language teachers, these prompts are really time saving. They are great for homework and for exam prep because they easily pair with the listening exercises. So every question that we asked of the native speaker in the listening videos, your students can also practice answering those same questions. So here is where students can answer questions that teachers have created themselves. So if you want to have them prepare certain questions for a unit or a project you're working on. But if you wanted to pair it with a listening video, just to show an example, this is the exact question that we have many, many videos for that native speakers have given their answer to. So you could assign this question by having them watch a couple of model videos to see how a native speaker might answer that question. And then after they've seen the model, they can go in and answer that question themselves. And you'll see on the back end, we provide guidance for how to grade this, including a rubric with criteria, as well as requirements for the student's speaking response. For geography teachers, the speaking section really allows students to revise and prepare their answers for exams. We know that exam time is coming up, and allowing students to practice their responses and also use the correct terminology needed to articulate themselves accurately is so important for exam prep. So this is a feature that will really help your students be able to confidently express themselves and explain concepts. The writing section is similar to the speaking. Again, teachers are able to generate their own questions. Also, the set questions that we have here, students can practice writing their response to that question, and teachers are able to review the students' responses on the back end, giving them comments, feedback, guidance to help improve their writing in the future. So, a very helpful section I'd like to talk about next is our teacher resources. For teacher resources, we don't just provide the videos, we also help you find them. We also help you plan how you want to use them and how you want to teach with them. So for our language teachers, you'll see in the teacher resources section, we have various worksheets that can be used offline, such as our hypersheets for grammar and our reading comprehensions. This is great for schools that want to balance the amount of time that students are on screens, and also can be used easily if you have a substitute teacher that needs materials quickly, or you would like to use them in stations or groups in the class. It provides different ways that you can engage students. You'll also see our textbook guides here. This is School can be used as a standalone curriculum, and a lot of schools do this because, as mentioned, we are a comprehensive curriculum. We cover everything. It's all there for you. So many schools simply use This is School for their classroom. But for other schools that already have a textbook, what we provide here is a textbook guide that outlines exactly which content on our site will go with the units in the textbook. So we outline all of the listening videos, the vocabulary blocks, the grammar videos, and other tasks that connect to your textbook. So this can really help with pacing out lessons and making plans which are prepared for you, which is nice. We also have our certificates here to award student achievement. As mentioned, students earn peanuts or points for everything that they do on the site. So a lot of our teachers like to reward students with certificates when they earn a certain amount of peanuts through the site. We also have a getting started guide here just to help you be able to utilize the site to the full and make sure that you're covering everything. Of course, if you sign up for a free trial with us, we'll walk you through exactly how you can use these documents, how it can pair with any current textbooks that you're using, and also give you guidance for how to use any of the offline worksheets as well as how things can be graded for you through the site. So we can customize it to your school and to your needs. For geography teachers, this teacher resources tab includes the textbook guides specifically for EdXL GCSE and AQA GCSE, and also a getting started guide to support you in using it in the best way for your students. Now, going back to our main page, I wanted to show the assignments tab as well. Assignments makes it super easy to see what you've set, what's due, and the results. This can be all viewable on the back end per student, per assignment, and per class. So I can show you an example with my fake class here. I can see what work has been set through this assignment view. Through students, I'm able to see per student how they're doing. So how many peanuts or points they've earned, what exercises they've completed. When I scroll down into the progress report, that's where I see everything that was tracked for the students. So our most successful teachers will track student progress by reviewing this data, how long students took on a particular task, how many attempts they had, and what their best score was. The progress reports per student can also be printed out and shared with parents so that everyone can stay up to date with how their children are doing in the class. Now, my favorite part of This Is School that I want to show you is Nutty Tiles. So, Nutty Tiles, I'll go to our global game first. Nutty Tiles is a real-time multiplayer game which tests your students' vocabulary. So you'll see all the levels here. Each level, students learn 20 words for functional language, and there are 50 levels in total. So students work through the levels by typing in the target language words that appear as quickly as possible. And the vocab recall game really stirs up a competitive atmosphere because your students can play against other students in the same class. They can play against other classes. You could have class against class competitions. You can even have your students compete worldwide in our global game. You'll see our global ranking leaderboard here. So students really get into it. It's addictive. To be honest, I'm addicted to Nutty Tiles. I play it every day as well. So your students will really enjoy it. And also, they're learning those keywords that they need to know to be able to make progress towards fluency in the language. You'll notice as well, there's the ability to make a custom Nutty Tiles list. So if you want your students to focus on particular words for a unit that you're doing or a project or to prepare for an exam, you can create a custom Nutty Tiles game, which means that they will only play the game with the words that you have set. And it really helps them to prepare for that exam unit or project in a really fun and engaging way. So, our most successful teachers use Nutty Tiles not just as a game to fill time when they have an extra 10 minutes here or there, although it's great for that too. I remember when I was teaching, anytime that you could have something quick that the students really liked on hand was excellent and helpful. But teachers also get students playing it regularly to learn the new words and, as we mentioned, stir up a bit of competitive fun in the classroom. Now, one other aspect of the site that I haven't shown yet is our points target. If you're wondering what the points target is, the points target feature allows you to set how many points or peanuts that you want students to be able to earn from a specific class and from a certain amount of time. You can also select the minimum difficulty for exercises, enabling them to do certain things. So, for example, if you don't want them to just play Nutty Tiles and you want to push them towards grammar or vocab, or if you want to ensure that your higher level students aren't watching lower level videos, but are watching videos according to their level, then you can set that. And when you click save, what this means is everything that the students do on the site will be tracked and graded for you to meet that points target, but you won't have to go through and assign everything. So, under the assignments, this is great for major tasks that you want everyone to complete by a certain date, so that way you can review it and go over with the students. For the points target, some teachers just like to allow students to go onto the site and explore, watch videos that are interesting to them, try to spark their curiosity, try to get them excited about language learning by having them find units and videos that are fitting to their interests or that are appealing to them. So the points target allows students to be able to explore everything that we have on the site without the teacher having to take time to assign every specific detail. So that was a brief overview of everything that you can see on the site here. I will go back now just to show more specifically with our listening videos, especially for language, because I want you to see an example of those scaffolded exercises that really break down the content for students. So let's look at an example. If we browse by theme, I'm on Spanish here as our example. You can see the different topics listed here. Let's say that I pick friends and family. I can see there's 164 videos for friends, 124 for family, so quite a lot. Let's say that I go to this first question that was asked of the native speakers. Describe a la familia de tu mejor amigo. So they're talking about their best friend. And again, we talked about the videos here, seeing where the speaker is from. You'll see they're all quite short in length, and they all have unique ID numbers. So this allows teachers, if you find a video that you really like, you can write down the ID number to reference it again. Many times, students tell us that they recognize certain speakers in the video and they like watching videos that includes that speaker in it. So they might request, oh, I want to see what this person says on this topic. It's almost like they're getting to know them, and they become friends in a way. Now, we talked about the level of difficulty. These icons underneath here indicate which scaffolded exercises are attached to that video. So just to show an example, here is our video. The students can watch it at regular speed, or we have our snail feature here. This allows you to slow down the video, but don't worry, they don't sound robotic or anything. They still sound like a regular human, naturally speaking. After watching the video, the first scaffolded exercise is the jigsaw. So what they do is they watch the video and then listen out for key words. The words are found here. They just need to drag and drop the words into the correct spot. This first exercise really is to help the students stay focused on the content. We know many times language teachers tell us that their students struggle with authentic listening because they think it's too hard and I can't understand it and I can't follow what they're saying. So, in order to avoid those problems, the first scaffolded exercise is just for them to listen out for keywords for word identification. Next, the vocabulary. This is where they learn key vocabulary words from the video. They're able to hear them and see them. This is similar to our vocabulary blocks where they can study the words. When they start learning, let's say that they get it wrong, then they need to go in and retype it. That way they can't just move through. They have to actually learn the words to be able to test out of this section. Next is the gap fill. So there's the example video, play it again. And what the students have the opportunity to do is listen to the video, and then now they need to fill in the gaps. So they need to take the vocabulary words that they just learned and they need to make them fit in the sentence, conjugating the verbs, making sure they have subject verb agreement, showing that they know how to use these words in context. The last exercise is the comprehension. So this is where, again, they can watch the video and they have key questions to answer from what the speaker said. This one is only 5 questions. For our higher level videos, you'll see more questions listed. And this really allows the students to demonstrate mastery over the content of the video. You'll see the transcript is also available. So if you want students to be able to see this, you can leave it on. Other teachers like to turn the transcript off, making it a little bit more difficult, but also really zoning in on those authentic listening skills. To assign a video through our site, super easy. You just go here, select which exercises you want them to do, or if you want them to do everything, it'll tell you how long that should take, about 10 minutes, which class you would like to assign it to, when you want it to be due, and when you want it to be visible from. So if you are a planner, like I was when I was teaching, I like to kind of have things mapped out ahead. So you're able to do that here if you'd like to have a homework schedule, for example, or you'd like to plan out all your lessons for the week. You can remove the timer if you want, which is something we might recommend for lower levels. But if you have IB students or AP students, higher level students, even up to heritage speakers, you may want to leave the timer on to challenge them a bit more. You can also set an alert to email students. That way they know the assignment has been set. And there you go. Everything that the students do again will be tracked and graded for you on the back end. You also have the ability here where it says print worksheet to be able to take all of the exercises and do it on a worksheet in class, in stations. If you would like to customize the questions, this is a good way to do so because you can add in additional questions, you can highlight certain vocabulary words, you can even add in additional exercises at the end. So if you'd like any sort of customization, then that is available to you there. Okay, so that gives our brief overview of This is School. Again, when you sign up for a trial with us, we very much tailor it to your needs, what you're looking for in a resource, how we can support your students, and how you can make sure that your students will achieve measurable results by using the resource regularly. So this overview I know was very brief, but when you do have a trial with us, it can be more specific to the needs of your school. So, you'll notice that we talk a lot about authenticity at This Is School. And Veronica, is it okay if I stop sharing to get to that slide about authenticity? There we go. Fantastic. Yep. Okay, thank you so much. So, you'll notice that we do talk about authenticity a lot at This Is School. And I wanted to cover quickly why we do believe it's so important. And it's very much inspired by our founder's journey as a former teacher. So he took his students to a trip to Paris, his French students, and he said, "Okay, go out and use your French. Talk to French speakers." And the students came back and complained to him saying, "Well, the native speakers didn't sound like the CDs, or it didn't sound like the language we're learning in the textbook." So our founder thought, how can I bridge this gap? How can I help my students to be able to learn the real language that they need? So authentic content isn't just something that's nice to have. Students are actively engaging with the natural rhythms of speech, and they're also able to be immersed in their subject beyond the textbook approach. So, as it mentions here, for languages, students are able to pick up on more filler words, nonverbal communication, and cultural references. We know that for certain languages, a lot of people use gestures, right? Their facial expressions reveal a lot in what they want to say. So, students are able to learn these. And also, that cultural capital is so important. They're able to hear students talking about their life and culture in a way that's natural for them in a natural setting. For geography, students are less daunted by peer answers, giving them an opportunity for open discussion and assessment. This allows them to hear another student confidently explain the concepts that they need to know for the exam. And so they're able to see examples, they're able to learn from it and see that this is something that I can do as well. This is something that I could confidently explain. So our authentic resources really do help broaden students' horizons in every subject. That's why we talk about authenticity so much, and that's why we value authenticity. Now, of course, I can't do this whole presentation without giving you some examples of what our teachers have to say about us. We talked about what our most successful teachers do when they're on the platform. And here are some examples of our successful schools and teachers and the praise, the comments that they have to say about us. So I just like to share some of these with you. We can see on the top, Beth Marshall said, "It's the authentic language that's presented in front of us of all people from around the world with vocabulary you're not finding in a textbook." Heidi Trude said, "One of my number one features on This Is School is the grammar videos because they're only 120 seconds. You can easily show them the video, they can practice it together as a class, and then show your own mastery of learning by doing the test." Vlasta Gretsch said, "There's a plethora of different videos. There's a variety of activities, exercises, challenges, and quizzes." Ursula Lopez says, my students love the videos, and I love it because it makes my instruction much easier. Tony Roll said, our Year 9 students who have just started working towards their GCSEs find the activities fully accessible and engaging, not to mention loving the chance to compete against classmates at Nutty Tilez. Alexis Deverlet, I've been using This Is School since 2015 and my students love it. They're engaged, thriving, and showing remarkable improvement. That's what it's all about. Last one from Glen Almond College. We use it a lot for prep, homework. We love the time-saving benefits, and it's so engaging. We also print worksheets for our tests and independent work in class. So these are just a few comments from many testimonials we received from teachers, but we can see that not only is it helping students to achieve measurable results and work towards fluency in their language or work towards confidence in their subject, but for teachers, it saves a lot of time, which we know is something that you deserve to have back. And hopefully This Is School will be able to help you to do so. So now I'll pass it to you, Veronica, for a little bit of Q&A, I believe.
Yeah, thank you, Caitlin. That was awesome. So now we do have some time for Q&A. Please do use the chat or the Q&A section if you would like to submit anything we haven't yet covered. But I'll just give everyone a few moments to be able to ask any questions. And of course, like we said earlier, this would be the perfect opportunity to let us know if we can schedule a personalised meeting with you to go into a little bit more detail about your needs, about your students, about your specific situation. But anything general you would like to know, this is definitely the place to ask. So I can see one in the Q&A asked how many videos you actually have. Well, that's great news. We actually have over 12,500 across all of our subject areas. So a huge amount. Associated with that is over 55,000 activities. It's a great question. Thank you so much for that. Another question directly asking how much does it cost? Well, This Is School is a per student subscription model, meaning that you only pay for exactly how many students you need. And we would be happy to discuss that with you. You can just drop us a line on info@thisisschool.com. Another question about how many webinars you have. We actually have one coming up, or two coming up really. One coming up next Tuesday, which is a deeper dive into how we can help with homework and exam prep. And we also have one on bridging the gap of summer break. So please do check our website. We also send these out via email as well. So when we send out the recording of today's session, we'll also be giving you a reminder of the next sessions that we have. But certainly it's a great way to connect with us. We also have guest speakers, great information from schools that we currently already work with. So there's definitely always something happening and always lots of insight to be gleaned. So we definitely do encourage you to check out our webinars. But that was a great question. And one more question. I don't see ESL on your website. That's a great question. We're always updating our marketing site with new exciting content, but rest assured it's a subject that we can help with. And final question, I think, is how do I get a trial? Well, that's the best question to ask. So all you need to do is go to our website. You can go to thisisschool.com/trial, enter your details to request your trial. And if you put in the code webinar when requested, we will extend your trial to 30 days as opposed to 14. Thank you all so much for those questions. So before we wrap up, I'd just like to say a huge thank you to all of you for joining us. We've really enjoyed spending time with you today, and we will be sending out this session via a recording. So next steps. First of all, you are going to visit www.thisisschool.com/trial, like I just mentioned, and you can use code webinar to extend an extended 30-day trial. We'll also be sending out a recording of this webinar and a presentation to refer to, and of course share with your colleagues. We definitely encourage you to share with your colleagues so that you can all make best use of our platform. And then finally, we will be hosting another webinar next Tuesday, 23rd of April at 4 p.m. UK time. And this is going to explore how This Is School can specifically support with homework and revision. So we would definitely recommend and encourage you to meet with us then to learn a little bit more of a deeper dive into how this can be utilised. Again, we will send a recording, so please do look out for that. And don't forget to recommend your colleagues to come and join us as well. So have an amazing evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to see you again soon.